her calculations about how useful is this human to me changes.
I bet so. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, we're definitely going to get into the vampire hunter in this. But before we do that, let's talk about the lore, the vampire lore around Fiona and how that differentiates or as similar to other vampires. Because when every author kind of has like their spin, they may keep the being very sensitive to fire or not fire, sunlight. They might get rid of that and make it where they sparkle, you know?
Right. Yes.
So how close is Fiona to, let's say, traditional vampire mythos?
She has to stay out of the sun. We do see this, but only it's fairly recent, actually. You might remember in the Dracula, in the novel Dracula, and the Francis Ford Coppola movie, which tries to move Dracula back to the original novel. Dracula can walk about in the daytime, but his powers are reduced. We see for the first time, I believe, in the 1922 film Nosferatu, where it's a Dracula stand-in, Count Orlok actually burns when exposed to fire, sunlight rather. He turns into a puffball of fire and smoke, and that's how he's dead. That is the first time I am aware in film or literature where a vampire exposed to sun burns. And so that's where we see it's just so much more cinematically interesting, isn't it, than just, I feel a little weak in the sun, you know? So that's where I just love it. Just in my mind, and I think in the most readers' minds, that is a really important component to keep, a tradition to keep, because it also reminds us that they have a vulnerability. There, to me, and I think I suspect with many readers, a vampire that is just all powerful and omnipotent and has no weaknesses at all isn't very interesting. You have to give them something, a vulnerability, a weakness, to make you care about them, even if you don't like her. Yeah,
you have to give them a flaw. You got to give them a weakness. Otherwise, they're just like this all-powerful force, and what can stop them? Okay, we know how it's going to end. They're going to win. Okay, come on now.
Right, yeah, right. Might as well just give up, here's my neck,
That's the reason why I never really cared for Superman. I was more of a Batman guy.
Yeah, there you go, yeah.
You can do anything. You can do anything. The only thing that kills me is that rock. Or being far away from the sun.
Kryptonite, yeah. That's another tradition I keep, the stake through the heart. Or in modern times, a wooden bullet through the heart. That's intriguing to me. I think that's also, something that I like, making vampires nervous and saying, whoa, but this is a threat. We need to address this. We need to figure a way around and adapt around this.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed in your book right away. You bring in the wooden bullets, like within the first chapter. It's like, wooden bullets. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Instead of using like a crossbow with like a stake. Oh no, we're going to use like a revolver or whatever. Just have them shooting wooden bullets, No, it makes me wonder too, if they could have like, I don't know, garlic. I don't know. In your mythos, does garlic do anything?
Yeah, it's funny. I address crucifixes. I address silver. Obviously, bullets and wooden stakes and sunlight. The one thing in my novel I don't address, and I hope I'm not spoiling anything for anybody, is garlic. I haven't yet figured out if that's something that what's Fiona's reaction to garlic. We could probably pick that up in the second book. But yeah, that's just one thing of all the things I thought about and worked on in this novel. That's the one thing I just slipped my mind, or I just didn't think it was germane to the story. And so I just left it out.
I'm going to explore that. Go see what happens when you get some garlic bread and just rub it on Fiona's face.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny now to think about it. If garlic is really something that vampires detest and can hurt them, irritate them. I don't know. Imagine that you can kick their ass with some garlic bread.
yeah. Or, just bite down on some garlic and your blood will be polluted, and it won't be interesting. It'll smell and, So, yeah, I think that's something I can explore in the second novel. There might be some vampires who are especially sensitive to it and others, will tolerate it. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, it seems like a joke.
And that would make them that would make them more human, I think.
It definitely would. And also makes it kind of comedic. Just imagine something like Dracula. I'm Lord Dracula, creature of the night. I suck your blood. You should fear me. Yeah, well, I've got this garlic bread right here. You know, it's like, okay. Come on now.
You win. You win.
Now, all right. Well, what about reflections? Does Fiona have a reflection in the mirror?
Fiona does not keep mirrors in her house. And it's something that we notice. It's not, at no point does the mirror become absolutely important to each scene or the story as a whole. But my suspicion is they see something ugly. They don't see their own.
Yes.
Fiona is an astonishingly beautiful woman. She has to be, right? Raven haired. She wears low cut gowns as much as possible because to show off her attributes. But my guess is, and I can explore this in the next book. It's not that she can't see a reflection, but she's afraid of what she will see. I think that's much more interesting.
El Tempar mentioned something in the chat. I didn't really think about this because when we think about vampires' weaknesses with crucifixes, holy water, and stuff, we think about it from a Christian perspective. But what if they were, Muslim? What if they were Jewish? What if they were?
Yeah, it's funny. Fiona